Welcome back to AI Reviews. Like always, I am your host, Lee. Today we are having an AI review Epic Mickey Rebrushed, the remaster of the 2010 Epic Mickey. This was always a game I wanted to play but never got around to. So now is as good a time as any, but let's see what the AI thinks.
Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed, released on September 24, 2024, is a triumphant return to the imaginative world first introduced in the original Epic Mickey. Developed by Purple Lamp, this remake not only revitalizes the visuals and gameplay, but also deepens the emotional and thematic elements, making it an enchanting experience that earns a glowing 4/4 stars. The premise of Epic Mickey Rebrushed remains true to the original, with Mickey Mouse inadvertently causing havoc in the wasteland, an alternate world inhabited by forgotten Disney characters and creations. However, what sets this version apart is the stunning graphical overhaul and refined controls that transform the game into a more fluid and visually spectacular adventure. The enhanced graphics bring Wasteland to life with richer textures and more vibrant colors, making each area of the game a joy to explore. One of the standout features of this remake is the improved control scheme, which addresses issues from the original game. Mickey's movements are now more responsive, and new abilities such as dashing, ground pounding, and sprinting add layers of depth to the platforming challenges. These improvements make navigating through the beautifully chaotic world of Wasteland not just easier, but more enjoyable, allowing players to engage with the environment in inventive ways. The gameplay mechanics revolving around Mickey's magic paintbrush have also been refined. Players can use the paintbrush to either create or erase parts of the world, adding a strategic element to the game that encourages creative problem-solving. This mechanic not only enhances the interactivity of the game world, but also beautifully symbolizes the theme of creativity and restoration that is central to the narrative. The story of Epic Mickey Rebrushed is both captivating and heartfelt. It explores themes of redemption, legacy, and the impact of our actions, all woven into a narrative that is rich with Disney lore. The game does an excellent job of making each character feel important and emotionally resonant, from the iconic Mickey Mouse to the lesser-known figures from Disney's vast archives. The emotional depth added to these characters makes the journey through Wasteland feel all the more significant and impactful. Additionally, the soundtrack of Epic Mickey Rebrushed deserves special mention. It is both nostalgic and fresh, with familiar themes reinterpreted in new and exciting ways that perfectly complement the action on screen. The music enhances the magical atmosphere of the game, enveloping players in a world that feels quintessentially Disney, yet distinctly unique. In conclusion, Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed is a masterful remake that improves upon the original in every conceivable way. From its stunning visual upgrades and refined gameplay mechanics to its deep and engaging story, this game is a standout achievement in the realm of video game remakes. It not only honors the legacy of the original Epic Mickey, but also enhances it, making the game accessible to a new generation of players while satisfying longtime fans. For its brilliant execution and the magical experience it provides, I give Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed a perfect 4/4 stars. It's a heartfelt tribute to the power of creativity and a testament to the enduring magic of Disney.
Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed, released on September 24, 2024, offers a revitalized look at the world of forgotten Disney characters through the adventures of Mickey Mouse. This remake, crafted by Purple Lamp, brings significant visual and gameplay enhancements to the original concept, making it a more polished and engaging experience. While there's much to admire in this updated classic, certain aspects don't quite hit the mark, leading me to give it a solid 3 to 4 stars. Visually, Epic Mickey Rebrushed is a feast for the eyes. The graphical updates are impressive, with vivid colors and enhanced textures that bring the Wasteland, a realm filled with Disney's forgotten characters and attractions, to life. The attention to detail in the environments is commendable, providing a rich backdrop that truly feels like a part of the Disney universe. These enhancements make exploring the game's world more immersive and visually appealing than ever. The gameplay has seen notable improvements, particularly in terms of character control. Mickey moves with a fluidity that was lacking in the original game, and the addition of new abilities like dashing and ground pounding adds a welcome layer of depth to the platforming segments. However, while the controls are generally better, they can sometimes feel overly sensitive, leading to moments of frustration during more precise platforming challenges. This inconsistency occasionally pulls you out of the experience, reminding you that while much has improved, not all the old quirks have been ironed out. The magic paintbrush mechanics remain a central feature, allowing players to alter the environment by creating or erasing elements. This mechanic is innovative and ties beautifully into the game's themes of creation and restoration. Yet, the execution of this mechanic sometimes feels unbalanced. Certain puzzles and challenges rely too heavily on the paintbrush, making some sections of the game feel more like a chore than a fun, engaging puzzle to solve. This over-reliance can detract from the overall pacing and enjoyment of the game. Narratively, Epic Mickey Rebrushed sticks closely to the original storyline, which is both its strength and its weakness. The themes of redemption and legacy are compelling and well integrated into the game's world. However, the narrative can sometimes lean too much on nostalgia without offering enough fresh storytelling elements to keep veteran players completely engaged. For newcomers, the story is charming and filled with whimsy, but those familiar with the original might find the lack of new narrative developments a missed opportunity. The soundtrack of the game, while capturing the whimsical and sometimes eerie atmosphere of the wasteland, doesn't always match the emotional tone of the gameplay. Though generally well composed, the music occasionally feels repetitive, especially during longer gameplay sessions. In conclusion, Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed is a commendable remake that successfully updates many of the technical aspects of the original game while preserving its creative heart. The stunning visuals, improved controls, and innovative gameplay mechanics make it a worthy addition to the Disney video game lineup. However, the occasional control issues, uneven paintbrush mechanics, and a narrative that could have used a bit more rejuvenation hold it back from being a perfect remake. For its significant improvements but noticeable shortcomings, I give this game a well-deserved 3/4 stars.
Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed, released on September 24, 2024, by Purple Lamp, attempts to breathe new life into the original Epic Mickey game through enhanced graphics and updated controls. Despite its ambitions, the game regrettably falls short of improving upon the original, particularly in gameplay, which feels like a downgrade rather than an enhancement. My overall impression leads to a rating of 2 out of 4 stars for this remake. While the visual upgrades are undeniably appealing, offering brighter and more detailed graphics than its predecessor, these aesthetic enhancements cannot mask the underlying issues in gameplay. Epic Mickey Rebrushed claims to provide a smoother and more intuitive control system, yet the reality is a clunky and often frustrating experience. The new movement abilities such as dashing and ground pounding are introduced with the intention of adding depth, but instead, they feel cumbersome, poorly integrated into the platforming challenges which themselves have not been adequately reimagined to accommodate these changes. The central mechanic of the magic paintbrush, a brilliant concept in the original game for its integration of creative problem-solving and environmental interaction, now seems less impactful. The mechanics feel less responsive, and the novelty of painting or thinning the environment wears thin due to repetitive puzzles and overuse. Instead of feeling empowered to manipulate the game world in meaningful ways, it often feels like going through the motions just to progress to the next segment. The level design exacerbates these gameplay issues, with many areas feeling either overly simplistic or unnecessarily convoluted. The balance that the original Epic Mickey struck between challenge and enjoyment seems to have been lost in this remake. Instead of each level feeling like a part of a coherent whole, they often come across as disjointed, failing to build on the narrative in a way that feels organic or engaging. Narratively, Epic Mickey Rebrushed sticks closely to its roots, which is both a strength and a weakness. The themes of redemption and the forgotten world of Disney characters still resonate, but the storytelling feels stagnant, as if relying too heavily on the player's nostalgia for the original game rather than offering new insights or developments. This lack of narrative innovation is disappointing and makes the game's story feel dated rather than revitalized. Furthermore, the soundtrack, while adequately whimsical and fitting for the setting, does not do enough to elevate the gameplay experience. It remains in the background, never quite engaging with the action on screen in a way that enhances the emotional or dramatic stakes of the game. In conclusion, Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed is a missed opportunity to truly enhance and expand upon a beloved game. While it succeeds visually, it fails to deliver where it matters most, in gameplay and narrative depth. The changes made seem superficial and do not address the core aspects that made the original engaging, resulting in a game that feels like a step back rather than forward. For its visually appealing but ultimately unsatisfying gameplay experience, I give Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed a disappointing 2 out of 4 stars.
Let's get this straight, some classics should be left untouched, and the original Epic Mickey is one of them. Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed, released on September 24, 2024, by Purple Lamp, is an absolute travesty that fails not only to capture the charm and innovation of the original but actively tarnishes its legacy. This so-called remake deserves nothing more than a pitiful 1/4 stars for its complete misunderstanding of what made the first game a beloved classic. First off, the updated graphics, while technically superior, strip away the original's unique artistic flair that perfectly complemented its darker, more adventurous themes. The new glossy and overly polished visuals lack the soulful brushstrokes that gave Epic Mickey its distinctive style, replacing them with something that could be mistaken for any generic, run-of-the-mill animated game. It's a visual downgrade in every way that matters: artistry and emotional impact. Then there's the gameplay, which is a disaster of epic proportions. The developers promised improved controls and new abilities like dashing and ground pounding, supposedly to enhance gameplay and deepen the experience. Instead, what we got are clunky, imprecise mechanics that make navigating the game more frustrating than fun. The original game's controls were not perfect, but they had a certain charm and required skill that this remake completely lacks, favoring gimmicks over genuine gameplay enhancement. The magic paintbrush mechanic, once the heart of Epic Mickey's gameplay, has been butchered. The innovative concept of altering the environment to solve puzzles and progress through the game now feels like a tedious chore. The interactions with the game world are unresponsive and often buggy, turning what should be the game's most enchanting feature into its most aggravating. As for the level design, it's as if the developers completely forgot what made the original game's world so engaging. Each level in Rebrushed feels disjointed and uninspired, with none of the clever design or thematic depth that the first game boasted. It's a hodgepodge of ideas thrown together without any coherent narrative to make them meaningful or memorable. And the narrative, what a missed opportunity! The story lacks any of the depth or nuance of the original, relying instead on cheap nostalgia and shallow callbacks that fail to captivate or engage. It feels like a soulless retread of familiar themes, without any of the originality or heartfelt storytelling that once breathed life into Mickey's forgotten world. Finally, the soundtrack, which could have saved some grace, does nothing to lift the game from its creative slump. It's forgettable at best, annoying at worst, failing to capture the whimsical yet poignant tone that made the original's music so impactful. In conclusion, Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed is an exercise in how not to do a remake. It takes a beloved classic and drains it of all its charm and ingenuity, leaving behind a hollow shell that's neither fun to play nor meaningful to experience. For its failure to honor and build upon the legacy of Epic Mickey, and for its myriad of design flaws and uninspired execution, I give this game a thoroughly deserved 1/4 stars. Avoid at all costs, unless you want to see how not to revive a classic.
Like always, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. I typically have at least 2 videos out per week, AI reviews like this one or real reviews depending on releases. Next week I should have real reviews of Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F and Despicable Me 4. Until next time.